Hey friends, welcome back. So in today's session, we're going to talk about cold immersion therapy, brown adipose tissue, and review the Ice Barrel, which is a relatively new product. I've only used it a few different times, and what's unique about this is an at-home cold immersion bath. It's an ice bath, essentially, that you can put on your porch, in your backyard, like I have here. When it's totally full, it actually weighs about 750 pounds. It holds 110 gallons. Right now, there's about 80 gallons of water in there. And as you know, we've talked about on the channel a lot, and I'll link past videos. We've talked a lot about brown fat and the benefits of cold water immersion, activating your brown adipose tissue, and just using cold water therapy or cold immersion as a way of like a mental exercise to get more gritty, to induce some discipline, but also activate your brown fat. We have Roxy the dog here that's going to entertain us, but instead of all this talk, let's just get into it and talk from in here, okay? So, just a quick question that a lot of people want to know about is how cold does the water need to get? So there's no ice in here, and whew, it's really cold. So it's about 40 degrees here in Kirkland. So last night, I want to say it got to about 35 degrees. Oh, hey, Rox. What I like to say to people, it really depends on where you're at. If you've never done this before, don't beat yourself up over how long you need to go in. Just go in until you become uncomfortable. Stay in maybe 5 or 10 seconds longer, and then get out. You know, for me, I've been doing this for a number of years, so I can stay in for about 2 to 3 minutes. Now, where do the maximum benefits occur? You know, well, again, it depends on sort of your experience level. But once you start to feel that shiver, and that occurs at varying rates depending upon, again, your training level and if you go in the sauna or if you exercise or you don't. But once you start to feel that shivering, that's probably a good time to maybe get out, because what that means is that shivering response is causing your fat cells to behave more like brown adipose tissue. Your mitochondria is becoming uncoupled and it's starting to waste energy or give off heat. Thanks, Roxy. So the dog's starting to nip at me. So as you can see, I was in there for roughly 2 minutes or so, plus or minus. I'm sufficiently cold. You can see the goosebumps. I can start to feel in my legs a little bit of a shivering response. And there's no ice in here, friends. So that's what's cool about the ice barrel here, is depending upon where you live. So I put this actually on the south side of my house, but because there's these big Douglas fir trees behind me, and I have the sauna here and all this is actually a very shady spot. So I may never have to put ice in here. And we also have another cold bath. You know, we're fanatics when it comes to this stuff, that actually makes its own ice, so I can put ice here. But the reason why I put this here, and the reason, you know, if you're considering getting an ice barrel, which I would recommend, I'll put coupon codes and links below just to check it out and you can read the reviews. I put this here so you can go right from the sauna and jump right in. So when I have friends over to go in the sauna, they're often like, well, hey, where do I shower? How do I do this? And I don't want all these people coming through our house. I mean, it's cool if they do, but it's a lot easier if they can just jump in the ice barrel here, rinse off, get a little cold immersion going and a little contrast therapy. And then we can sit and talk and absorb nature, and as the steam is coming off our bodies, we usually do this at night. So the ice barrel is really neat. So I'm about 6'1". It's pretty easy to get out, okay? So overall, I think the ice barrel is a really good value because it's vertical. It's easier to get your full body in contrast to all the other tanks that are out there, and it's really easy to clean. So check this out. When I want to dump the water, you just open that up and go. And it's going to drain it from the very bottom. So you get 80 gallons of water that you can drain out. What's unique about the plastic is a lot of bugs and algae and things are not going to want to grow on that. Another thing that you can do in here is add in some sodium dichlor. So you can go to like any pool or hot tub store, get a little sodium dichlor. Yes, it contains a little bit of chlorine, but I'm talking like a teaspoon. Just a teaspoon in here will help to, it's not going to cause all this toxicity in your thyroid and all that. What it's going to do is prevent some of the algae from growing. So that's one thing that I can do. But the biggest value here, my friends, because I've done the the horse troughs and all those stock tanks, is those don't have lids. Okay, so this lid is really nice because you're going to have this outside. In the summer, you're going to get mosquitoes, you're going to get bugs, you're going to get leaves and things like that. The lid is really nice. The stock tanks, yeah, they're a little bit cheaper, but you're gonna have to build a lid, right? And that lid can, I'll show you the lid that I actually made for my stock tank. It's right here in our hot tub. Okay, this was a pain in the ass to make. It took me about 2 hours, and stuff still got in there. And so this is just set it and forget it. Time is money. So here's a good lesson. I was actually shivering so much that I had to go back in the sauna and come back out. So we're back out here, friends. So this goes to show that just ambient air temperature, cooled water is sufficient to cause you to get definitely pretty cold. My hands were shivering like that and it was hard to talk. So I warmed up a little bit and we're back. So basically in closing, I would recommend just starting with a cold shower. Make it a habit of going into a cold shower every single morning and then upgrading to something like the ice barrel. What's unique about this, as I mentioned, all the features. It holds up to 80 gallons of water. If you're over 6 feet, you can still get very cold. It has a cover, easy to clean, easy to get in and out of. Your friends will want to do this. I can tell you I had precisely 0 friends that wanted to come and jump in my stock tank. But now that we've upgraded to things like this, I am always getting texts and calls. Hey, I'm in town, let's go do some contrast therapy, things like that. It's a fun thing to do with friends. Now, where would you put this in your house? Let's say you live in Texas or Florida. If you keep this out of direct sun exposure, it's going to stay pretty cool. What's unique about water, it takes a lot of energy to heat up water. This is why coastal cities are generally a little bit, they don't have the massive swings in temperature like Nebraska or Colorado has, because they have no water surrounding, right? So if you can put this on the south side of your house or under trees, it's gonna stay sufficiently cold. Now you could always put ice bags in here in the summer, things like that, but I'm gonna keep this here and I know it's gonna stay pretty cold year round. When it gets really warm in the summer, we might need to do some mitigation or move it or whatever, but that's the nice thing. The stock tanks are harder to move, you have to elevate them and all of that. So I would definitely give it a try, friends. It's a great habit to get into. It's something you can do with friends, social, and if you have a sauna like we do, or just an infrared sauna at home, you can do contrast. So you can get warm, get cold, take a break, repeat. It's a great exercise because when you get warm, all your blood gets diverted from your core to the periphery to help cool you down. When you get cold, all the blood from your periphery goes in the reverse direction to your core. So you're like pushing and pulling your blood and lymph, and I think it's a great thing to do. It's super healthy. You'll feel amazing. It's really good for the brain, good for longevity, good for circulation, all of that, friends. So, by the way, friends, this is not a paid video. Ice Barrel did send this to me. They wanted us to do a review, and I'm more than happy to do a review. I think that they make a great product. It comes via FedEx Freight. The shipping is free. Check out the links below and the coupon code. And as always, thanks for tuning all the way in. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Let me know if you have an ice barrel and what you think about it. And overall, what you think of cold immersion therapy and contrast therapy. We'll catch you on a future video down the road. Bye now.